So if you guys remember, there are two specific conditions I initially said where we'd end up doing a vlog instead of a let's play video. One of the two being that I just don't have the time, but the other would be that I'm just not in the right mind. Well, weirdly enough, given what I decided on over the course of the past week, both of these kind of apply. So hey guys, my name is Dave and welcome to another video. This video is more of a rant about what's been going on the past week for me. This is not something you don't really want to watch. Maybe you'll like the playlist that I have in the eye icon in the corner. If I remember, put that. I thought it'll be at the end of the video. It'll be a random video that'll be on this side. But anyway, if that's the case, I guess just skip it ahead to the end of the video or something. I don't know. Anyway, so this past week has been hectic, like any week would be. The issue is most of the time when it comes to my day job, my boss is pretty reasonable, pretty flexible, understanding, yada yada, all the good things. But for some reason this week, this person was so stressed to the point where they started lashing at all the employees. And, well, that is kind of troublesome. Not to mention, like, throughout the whole week, the customers or consumers, depending on who you are and what you prefer to call them, were just a bunch of people who were dirtbags. And the two combined just didn't lead to any good. By the end of the week, I was very, very tempted to just call off and try to get someone to take my place. I ended up doing the whole shift, but I really didn't want to. It's just, I don't know. I think I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I do not tolerate stupidity. And this manager was acting like a complete moron. And it got my mental state to a point where I was like, I'm not doing this. In fact, this video I had to take a couple days of doing absolutely nothing. No editing, no recordings, nothing. And I'm still not in a position where I can actually record because it's far too late for that. I still have a couple other things I got to take care of. So I ended up doing this vlog talking about it. So technically speaking, this was last week, where as of when I'm being recording this. But anyway, even though I'm actually recording it at the beginning of this week, this rarely ever happens. But I digress. This situation, it just seems like normal industry stuff, right? We always got that dirtbag manager who never does, who never really gives a crap about the employees, blah, blah, blah. This is everywhere. There is always going to be one person who's like this. And that I'm completely aware of. I can adapt into that if that person is always that way. The problem is the individual I'm talking about, it feels like they're bipolar or something. I don't know if they are or aren't, but somebody randomly came around and said, yeah, this person's bipolar, I would look at them and go, yeah, I'm not surprised. But at the same time, why? But I digress. Again, I'm going off track more or less. I guess I find it annoying when people can't just, if you're going to be cooperative, it's more the mental state of if you're not in the right mind for the job, don't go in. And yet, so many industries look at that and go, yeah, no, screw you, you're coming in anyway. You could be about to go through a procedure for, this is an over exaggeration to prove a point, by the way, but you could be going through, like, about to go through, a procedure to get rid of cancer, skin cancer, brain tumor, throat cancer, whatever. And if you're not there, even if you're going through this and you have a doctor's note, write up or termination. They don't give a crap about you. This happens everywhere, and it's extremely annoying. Only goes to show how greedy a lot of people really are. It got to a point where, I mean, for those of you who watch this channel for the streams, especially Persona and Final Fantasy, because I know many and many and many of you like that series. Thank you for that, by the way. I did several streams of Persona last week, and I didn't end up doing it on last Friday at all. This is why. It got me in everything that was going on got me in such a bad mental state. I wasn't willing to do stuff like I don't know. Stuff like this just makes it so. Oh, let's put it this way. I got to the point where I base some. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and we have these darker characters, extremely dark characters who are very. If they were real individuals, they'd be considered terrorists. Actually, if they were real individuals, I feel like they'd be considered like those human-looking demons that you find in games like Devil May Cry or the anime, the good anime, um, or you would probably find them in, if for those who don't watch that stuff, the movie The Mortal Instruments, or if it's a movie involving demons and the demon can morph into looking like a human being, they're like that, more or less. Now, remember, these are characters. We use these characters. This friend and I use these characters to exert our anger towards individuals without threatening anyone because, well, these characters are just that characters. They're non existent. It means you can't do anything, it's harmless. Well, this friend of mine ended up saying from the character, do I need to bring a bat? In the mental state of pulling a Harley Quinn, basically. Um, and my character, who I would refer to them as Thing, um, and I ended up using that character saying Thing wants a gun. Of course, like I said, I would never get violent with the person. At least I try not to. If I have, then it's something I can't recall, so I'm pretty sure I haven't. And I'm not including myself in this statement. If I was including myself, then yes, I would sometimes, or in the past at least. I'm more the type of person. If I get violent, it's with inanimate objects. Like there was a point where this kind of thing happened, and I ended up, um, when I got home, I basically threw a huge rage fest. I guess you could call it a temper tantrum. Given how long ago this was, I'd call it a temper tantrum. And I ended up putting a small hole in the wall, which I easily fixed. I knew how to fix it at the time, so I easily fixed that, and everyone was none the wiser. But still, I don't get pissed off easily. I don't get angry easily, but it takes a lot of pushing for me to get frustrated to the point where you don't want me near you. And well, this manager actually pushed me to that point. She eventually had to back away for a bit, take a breath, and then say, just go in the back, sit down, calm down, come back when you're ready. I mean, it's like I said, it's like this person's bipolar. It's the same person who was lashing at other people the day after. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? You are so hypocritical. The day after, I was a little bit calmer about the situation and all, but even still, I mean, this is the kind of person where if you were to tell an adult joke in front of them and they told you not to, they would tell the same category of joke an hour or two later. This is actually something that did happen. Um, this manager, this was like last Friday, the day I would have recorded an episode of Kingdom Hearts for today, but like this show's didn't. She was already getting on my freaking nerves. I was able to suppress it this time, and then I tell this joke. Um, Now, the joke was more of a reference to another store under the same company in another city, and the joke surrounded the idea that they always seemed to find something sexual there, whether it was a toy or two people having fun in a car in the parking lot of that store. I wish I was kidding, but no. This city, it was like I made a joke once, and it wasn't on this day, but it referred to that, and I was basically, yeah, they must really like the movie Sex and the City, which is a good film, don't get me wrong, but it was more of a dad joke, I guess, at the time. Anyway, I'm getting stuff at the wrong time. Oh, jeez. That was actually said manager asking me to come in. Yeah, I said no. That was perfect timing, too. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. This individual just that manager gets on my freaking nerves. So what I was going to say initially is just that this person, I told a joke in regards to that store. We were talking about numbers and how each store like has a specific number in something they were involved in, and I made the joke saying, yeah, if they were involved in their number would probably be the number 69. Like, cool. I mean, it doesn't. The joke wouldn't work as well now. It's like bland, dead. But this manager got upset at me over doing that, and then literally 2 hours later made the exact same joke. And yeah, I ended up giving them a very large death glare for it. Yeah, that's basically how my week's been. And bear you in mind, when I made that joke, no customers were around. It was dead. No one was around. It was just me, that manager, and one other manager just kind of working on some side stuff, cleaning up the area. So, yeah, I felt it was fine to make that joke. And same thing when they said the joke, too. I don't know. People like this are very intolerable to me. But, yeah, that's basically how the week's gone for me. I just kind of wanted to vent about it for a little bit. I probably sounded very calm about it, but that's just again because I took 2 days to do literally nothing but rant, vent, get angry over and over and over again. I'm in a better mind now than I have been the past couple of days, but I also at this point don't have time to like record and edit an episode of Kingdom Hearts. So here I am doing this because of that. Hopefully next week this doesn't happen again, especially since we're only doing 4 days of videos, and eventually that 4 will become 3, which is going to be the solidified amount. 3 days for videos. When those days upload, I still have to decide. As of right now, the 4 days will be Monday through Thursday, but we'll figure this out later. Anyway, thank you guys for who sat around to the end of this video. Do you guys have any initial problems with managers like that? Let us know in the comments below. Want to check out any other videos that we've done on this channel, whether it's a discussion or random video like this one, which will be on this side, and like I said earlier, a random video you may enjoy on this side. But yeah, either way around, thanks again for watching the video, guys, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.